Hey, what's happening? This is Tom, NerdRemix.com. I got another Blu-ray review for you, and today it is Adam Green's Hatchet II, the unrated director's cut. As you may or may not know, they tried to release this unrated in some theaters, and it got pulled right away. So, going into this film, I liked Hatchet. I got to rewatch Frozen. I was a little drunk when I watched it the first time, so I heard it's good. Don't remember a whole lot. I liked the first Hatchet. The tagline was old school American horror, and it delivered exactly that. I mean, it was more along the lines of the later entries in the Friday the 13th movies. The gore gags that are, absurd amount of blood and stuff like that, and a little humor mixed in. I really liked Hatchet. I had Victor Crowley, Kane Hodder was in it, really good. Tony Todd had a bit part in it. And Hatchet 2, I really wanted to like, even though I had some issues with Adam Green trying to get an interview and stuff like that. But hey, we're a small site. But anyway, Hatchet 2, Tony Todd's back. Bigger role as the Reverend Zombie. Kane Hodder's back, playing both Victor Crowley and Victor Crowley's dad. He gets his first on-screen love scene and sex scene, which is odd. You go, Kane. Also, what you notice from the beginning, the very beginning over the opening credits and everything, you get a nice remix of Ministry. Just One Fix, which is really cool. I really like the way they did that. The first thing you notice about this movie is it picks up right where Hatchet 1 left off, and Mary Beth isn't Mary Beth anymore. She is Mary Beth, but she's played by Danielle Harris now, which is cool because Danielle Harris is hot. The movie progresses onto that. They find an excuse to go back to the swamp, and a lot of people get killed. There's a lot of really cool cameos in this when they're putting a hunting party together. Lloyd Kaufman's in there. There's some references to Behind the Mask, Leslie Vernon. When you're in Reverend Zombie's shop at the beginning of the movie, you see the Jack Chop, which, if anybody of you saw any of the Aeroscope short films, it was the one from year before last, Halloween, which was really funny. Definitely check it out. There was some really good comedy in it. I mean, some people, the black guy that was smoking weed, I don't know what his name was, but he was good in it. John Carl Buechler's in it. Ed Ackerman plays Cletus. He's not in it for long, but he's pretty good while he's in it. And then Trent, which plays one of the guys that originally killed Victor Crowley, is played by R.A. Mihailoff. And basically, Mary Beth and her uncle end up going with Reverend Zombie and a couple other people, and they want to go. She wants to go to recover her dad's body, and it kind of goes from there. The Asian guy from the first one's in it, looking for his brother. If you're a fan of the first one, you'll be a fan of this. It's goofy, really. I really wanted to like it, and it's not a masterpiece. It's not high art, and I don't think Adam Green is promising that, and I don't think that's what he's shooting for here. But one good thing about it is there's no CGI. It's all practical effects, which, you find yourself saying, wow, there's no way a head's going to come apart like that. But there's some inventive kills. There's some, absurd blood spraying like the first one. Some great lines. Tony Todd gets the "you got to be fucking kidding me" one in this one. He's really good in it. The one part where the black guy makes fun of his voice is hilarious, because he does it dead on. There's just something about this movie that I think if you're not a big fan of the original, you're just not going to like this, because it's basically just an excuse to get people to the swamp so you can kill them. And, he's not promising any more than that. Like I said, I kind of liken it to the later entries in the Friday the 13th franchise, where it's like, hey, let's find a scenario where we can have Jason kill people. In this case, it's Kane Hodder, which Kane Hodder does really good, and he actually has a pretty emotional scene. I was kind of surprised. Oh, Kane's got some range. Danielle Harris looks fantastic in this, and she looks fantastic in everything. So there's no big surprise there. And Tony Todd's adequate. He's a lot better than he was in The Graves. I reviewed that a while back, and he was horrible in that. There's a few cameos, like I said. Lloyd Kaufman, you see him right away. And while I'm on this subject, and I'm not going to burn a bunch of bridges, and I'm not going to go off on a rant here, but there is somebody from a horror movie website that has a cameo in this, and then that website reviewed this movie and gave it a great review. I'm just going to go on the record as saying that if Derek or I had a cameo in a film, a major film like this, you know, a major indie film like this, there's no way we would review it. Now, we're both making short films right now, and we might review each other's short films as a goof, but everybody's going to know that. I mean, we're going to be tongue-in-cheek, you know. This, I think it's just, you know, and there's websites like that, and the one I'm talking about, like I said, I'm not going to burn any bridges, and they write the reviews just so they get quoted on the DVD box or the Blu-ray box, as it were. But anyway, pretty good soundtrack. Like I said, it delivers what it promises. It's not high art. It's not a masterpiece. It's something, you know, if you got a few friends over and you want to drink a couple beers, and maybe have a card game going on, you pop this in, hey, you know, and you glance at the TV, because, you know, if you miss part of it, you're not really missing a whole lot. But there is some cool kills. The belt sander I enjoyed. Uses the hatchet a lot. He uses absurdly big chainsaw at one point, and it's kind of a cool kill, but it's a body count movie. It's a splatter movie, and it's got a lot of black humor thrown in, a lot of intentional humor, a lot of unintentional humor, I think, and a lot of nods to genre films. So if you want a fun movie, it's definitely worth a rental. I bought the Blu-ray. Will I watch it again? Possible, if I want to show it to somebody. I'll give it a 7.5 out of 10, just based on, you know, it's old school American horror. Actually, I think this one fits that tagline more than the first one. But Hatchet II, Adam Green, Tony Todd, Danielle Harris, a few others. 7.5 out of 10. And I'm Tom. Support independent horror. Thanks.